Sophie's mother-in-law's mink coat and shawl transformed into a throw.
So my next project is going to be this brown mink. I'm going to be converting it into a throw. Has a very nice lining with a monogram on the inside. There are some minor flaws with this particular fur. There are some tear holes. The sleeve really needs to be patched up quite a bit. This side as well, so it had a lot of wear and tear on the sleeves, but that can be repaired. The back looks like it's in pretty good shape. The shawl, which is very similar in color but not exactly the same, is also going to be used in the throw. This shawl is in very, very nice shape. Nice, soft, there's no tears, no pulls, no areas of stress or drying, so this will be pretty good. So the combination of the two will make a very pretty throw. So let's get started.
So as it turns out, this coat was a little bit more problematic than I anticipated. It turns out that there were quite a number of dry areas throughout the coat. Down here I am removing the sleeve from the lining, and here is where there is a lot of dry rot. Some areas will not be able to be used because it will not be able to hold the stitches. So in order to work with some delicate fur, one has to use a product called cold cloth or cold tape, and I'll be demonstrating that later on. But here I am removing the bottom of the coat. It had a different texture of fur at the bottom, and it was quite pretty. I used that extensively through the border area. And I'm just removing excess fabric. Here I'm using the cold tape, putting it on the edges. So this way, if the fur is a little compromised, or if it's a little older or drier, you can still use the fur, but the cold tape has a sticky adhesive on it, which when you apply it down to the fur, it will stick, but it will not interfere with the sewing process. It actually causes it to become stronger. Now, if the fur is really compromised and you use the cold tape, it really doesn't matter because it's going to pull apart anyway, which did happen in a couple of spots. So of course those particular pieces could not be used. So here I'm just putting together smaller pieces, trying to make up the bottom. Now this particular fur was very small, so we have to make do with what we have. That means cutting and reconfiguring quite a bit to make it all fit together. This is the sleeve area where I'm just cutting the sleeves out, straightening it out, making sure I have nice even edges, And now I'm going to be putting down the cold tape. Again, this is going to be helpful when I go to sew the pieces together. It adds added strength. And as you can see, there's a different color in the center of that. That was cold tape that was used previously, probably when the coat was constructed. Eventually the cold tape can dry out, but that's quite a while out. And here I'm just cutting the edges of the cold tape off, anything that was hanging over the edge. Here I took 3 panels, I sewed them together, adding the cold tape at the bottom, matching up the colors to the best of my ability. I have a smaller inner border as well as a wider outer border, and it really looks beautiful. This is what the back looks like, and the black part right there is cold cloth. It's made of the same material as the cold tape, but it's in sheets versus rolls. It also helps support the fabrics. So you could see it really turned out to be a beautiful project. Because the customer chose to use her own lining, I quilted it on the machine and preserved the monogram, which was very important to the customer. I am extremely pleased at how beautiful the throw came out that was made from a coat and a shawl. Come visit us at dinahsquilts.com.